Well, it's been an eventful 10 overs. Just about everything that could possibly happen happened. We've had umpiring decisions. We've had maybe slight moments that you're wondering what's going on. Catches taken, catches dropped. And of course, a fielder trotting on the boundary line. Few strokes played, wickets taken. As I said, an eventful 10 overs. And at the end of all that, the West Indies have got to 71 for 2. And I think one thing that intrigues me is Nicholas Pooran, 27 of 23. And I'll come to that first up with Ajay Jadeja, who joins us on Cricbuzz Comm Box. Ajay, you see 27 of 23. You imagine it looks like a guy who's maybe not finding the boundary, scratching around for ones and twos. He's hit 3 sixes.
Yeah, and he's at 3 sixes. So, 18 out of his 27 came off 3 balls. And, each of those, except for the one that, Bishnoi took it on the boundary and, touched that rope. Everything else was 110, 120 yards. It's been I actually can't find a word. You'd probably find that word for me. Is that it's been a game where you've had all kinds of things happening. And when you look at that scoreboard, nothing's happened. It's only 70 odd in 10 overs, only 2 wickets down. Well, one thing that you missed out in the whole of your introduction was Roston Chase walking in as well, where you have such a batting lineup left. So it's been a little odd. What's the word now? Give me a word for the situation.
I'll try and find it by the end of this comm box. But yeah, let's have a look at the scorecard and tell you exactly why we feel that Roston Chase walking out. He's a great long form player. He's done a bit of a job for his franchise in the CPL, but that's only because they kept losing wickets and he need to hold the innings together. At this stage, Pollard's sitting with his pads on, Rovman Powell doing the same, Romario Shepherd, Odean Smith, Fabian Allen, Akil Hussain can bat as well with a first-class 100. So with all these guys sitting there, and they're all guys who can find the boundary, and Pooran, obviously, other than the sixes, is not managing to rotate the strike. So it just seems as the West Indies have missed a trick here at this stage of the innings.
Certainly, I think they've missed a trick. Yeah, it has been difficult. I understand because, the wicket that you expect in Calcutta, the ball coming on nicely. It has had a little bit for the bowlers, whether it's the seamers at the top, the ball did grip and, seamed around with the spinners as well. We saw, the balls, it's giving them something, which is something more than what you would ever get at Calcutta when it's a flat track. So there is something in the track, but they've managed to hit boundaries. They've managed to hit sixes. It's just that, it's not been rotating. And I think I personally feel it's because of the kind of pitch that you had. But what that tells you is that, a pitch like this with wickets in hand at the end, it becomes very difficult for the bowlers as well. So I have a feeling we see a contrasting next 10 overs, and contrasting I mean by West Indies will get many more than what they've got in that first half.
Well, that's generally been their pattern, especially if they save their real firepower for the second half. Quick look at the Indian bowling. We, of course, saw the debutant in Ravi Bishnoi. Unfortunate catch that he hit the rope with his foot. But otherwise, a decent first over. All the runs he conceded were wides. Maybe a few nerves, but otherwise held it together. Bhuvneshwar Chahal, Ajay, that first over. I mean, yes, he conceded 6 + 1 7, but really had the batsman guessing.
Yeah, Chahal was superb. I mean, it was just that first ball of his that went for 6. He could have got a wicket there. But more than that, what impresses me is, what he's added. I mean, he could always bowl a googly. But over the last couple of games that you see him play for India, I think he's, if he was bowling, say, 10% googlies throughout his career, he's now almost bowling 33% googlies. So, he's got that confidence with his googlies. And, and when that comes out, then the left-handers don't have a free hit every ball because, the ball's going the other way as well. So he was fabulous.
But I can tell you we've got another talking point. Roston Chase has been wrapped on the pads. Long discussion between Pooran and Roston Chase. You'd imagine they'd have sent a message out to him saying that, Jane dosko. Apparently they haven't sent that message out. So they've gone for the review. Looked fairly adjacent to the naked eye, but we'll keep the conversation going till we have this. It could be a first wicket for Ravi Bishnoi, or it could be further agony for the West Indies if Roston Chase continues to grind. He's 4 of 10 deliveries so far, and that's not great at this stage of the innings.
So who's wishing that the decision goes whose way? Which team wants him to get out?
Well, the finger's gone up, so it'll really take something, either an inside edge, which I don't think there was. My call, naked eye, crashing into middle and leg. But let's look at let's talk about the Indian Pacers before we get a verdict on this. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, of course, got the early wicket, but obviously anything short, anything wide to Kyle Mayers was punished.
Yeah, Kalma, especially anything short, like you said, and he almost whips everything down the leg side. His first over was totally different from the third that he bowled. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, because he's a man, everybody's keeping an eye on him, what's happening. He's a lovable man, everybody loves him. So when he had that little low, or not the best of few games that he's had in the past, so you're looking forward to what's Bhuvneshwar Kumar coming out with. The first over was fabulous. And I think by the third over, it weared off. The movement went away, and then Kyle Mills got after him. What it showed that he's bowled 3 overs. So what it tells me is Rohit Sharma is trying to get the best out of Bhuvneshwar Kumar. He wants him to come in form, because normally he would leave 2 for the end. I know Harshal Patel's there, but normally he'd leave 2 with an experienced bowler also at the end. But if he's bowled 3 overs, it tells you a story that Rohit Sharma feels that he should bowl right at the top.
Well, let's complete the story of the decision. I think I should maybe get myself an umpiring course. Didn't do too badly. Crashed into middle and leg with the naked eye as I saw it. And it was a review that was pretty much wasted by the West Indies. They thought long and hard about it. Pooran, just a nice guy. He said, yeah, go for the review. Roston Chase is gone. Could just be a blessing in disguise for the West Indies, because this is when the firepower walks out. But for now, Ravi Bishnoi has a wicket, Chahal has a wicket, and the word that we were looking for, I found one I think can apply: an anomaly. Something happened that you didn't quite expect, and it was what you see is not what you got.
Absolutely spot on. And I've learned a new word as well.
Yeah, and it's not Annamalai, which is the parallel road to Annasalai in Chennai. For all of you wondering, anomaly. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's all we have from Cricbuzz Comm Box. So much to talk about. I'm sure we'll have plenty more talking points at the end of the innings. From Ajay, Jadeja and myself, that's all we have.